Ida was a murderous child.
She had allowed herself to be distracted by love and therefore had killed her twin brother. Days later, she was no longer in love. James was a cad, but her dear brother Hector was still dead because of her negligence and always would be. If only she could express her sorrow to him and beg his forgiveness. A solution presented itself in a newspaper advertisement for Madame X, spiritual medium. The advertisement featured a crystal ball filled with stars.
Written underneath the orb in fancy letters, "Glimpse the beyond. Speak to the dead." That was exactly what Ida needed to do. She wrote Madame X that very afternoon, requesting an appointment.
3 days later, Ida took her heavy coin purse and a little club for protection and hired a carriage to take her to Madame X's house. It appeared ordinary from the outside, but the parlor resembled a harem, or so Ida imagined. There were silky drapes, velvet chairs, and a round table covered with a beaded cloth. In the center of the table, instead of a crystal ball, was a bowl filled with ink. Or perhaps it was a black bowl filled with water? Ida wasn't sure. She resisted the urge to touch the ominous liquid. Madame X entered the room wearing colorful robes and a ring on every finger. Her hair was wrapped in a striped turban. "Ida," she intoned, her voice thick with an unplaceable accent, "did you bring what I requested?" Ida set her coin purse on the table. "No, child, the object that once belonged to Hector." "Oh, yes." Ida took the hat off her head and placed it on the table. This was found at the site where he was attacked. "Good, good," the medium muttered. She chanted an incantation Ida didn't understand, then said, "Put your fingertips on the hat, close your eyes, and think of Hector." Ida obeyed.
This continued for some time, the thinking and the chanting, until Madame X gasped and said, "I sense a spirit. Hector is near." Where? Ida had opened her eyes at the gasp and now searched the room for a ghostly Hector.
"His face. He has blonde hair and blue eyes. I see his face in the all-seeing water." "You do?" Ida leaned forward. "Yes, he looks at you and smiles fondly." Ida studied the water and said, "I don't understand. It is not for the living to understand the ways of the dead."
"No," Ida said. I don't understand why you see Hector. I see a girl." "A girl? What girl?" Madame X asked, her accent disappearing. The girl in the water was very pale and spoke to Ida in an echoing voice. "She says her name is Amy and that she misses her mother." "Oh, she's gone. Wait, now there's a boy. His name is Basil. He misses his mother too and wants to finish reading Amy's eulogy. And Clara? This is alphabetical. Will the water show us a child for each letter until we reach Hector?" 30 seconds later, Madame X threw Ida and Hector's hat out into the street, but she kept the bag of coins. What a rude woman, and what a fraud. Madame X hadn't seen anyone in the all-seeing water, but Ida had.
After that, Ida became obsessed, staring into still water and bathtubs, sinks, fountains, puddles, and cups. Nothing worked. Did she need the incantation? No, she needed still black water. She was sure of it, but there wasn't a single black bowl in the house. The answer came when her family visited his country estate. There was a lake on the land, and at night, if there was no wind or moon, the water might be still and black enough. Ida waited for the right night, then crept down to the lake in her white nightdress. She climbed into a rowboat and let it float to the center of the lake before dropping a small anchor. She waited patiently until the water was as still as glass and black as ink.
"Hector," she whispered, "are you there? I'm so sorry." She heard a faint sound. Was it her name? She leaned over the pointed bow of the boat and saw a white figure in the water. It looked a bit like Hector, or was it just her reflection? Leaning farther over the bow, she stretched out her hand. The hand in the water stretched up, just out of reach, just a bit more. Ida lost her balance and splashed into the black water. This was unfortunate, as she had never learned how to swim. The end. Just doggy paddle. Just doggy paddle. Ida, doggy paddle's not hard. Why didn't you at least learn how to doggy paddle? It could have saved your life. Ugh. Instead, Ida drowned in a lake. I would be curious to know in the comments how you think or why you think Ida drowned in the lake. Tell me a story if you have one. I would love to hear it. So tomorrow, remember that boy that Ida was in love with for 2 seconds? James? James takes lie by mistake. Ugh, that's bad. That is it for today. I am Rachel of Rachel Gets Creative. I want to say thank you all for watching. I am so glad you're here, and I hope you tune in tomorrow. Meow, let the kitty in the room. Mwah. That's backwards. Love ya. Bye-bye.